false fact coming out from a generative AI, imagine what your foundation will be. You're going to build a very, very flaky IT system based on an unreliable output. So what are the areas in which you can do work? The areas in which you can do work can be any of these dimensions. It's called prompt injection attack on GPT, and they stole the entire GPT's training data. That's the level of smartness people have. Do you want your data to be hacked? So that's what it is. Okay? So any more questions? At least one question I want. Yeah. See, it's a question of trial and error. I don't think there is one answer to it. All I have to say is, you have a dipstick, see how it is working, then try to perturb, try varying the hyperparameters and try to do again. So it's all a question of how do you create a continuous testing and continuous improvement. There is no answer saying that this is the way it will work first time. You have to do multiple times. So that's why testing is very important. Testing of any AI system for ensuring that finally the deployed version is not showing biased behavior is critical.
This free version and paid version, is there any difference?
There is difference.
Yeah.
What happens is, this whole concept of the modern AI is based on a length of the context window. So with free, they give certain limit, but beyond that, if it goes, they ask you for paying based on tiers, right? There's a $25 tier, then there's a $200 tier.
Yes, because it is paid, you can't say that.
No. That's not changing the unreliable nature of LLMs. LLMs are by default the most useless piece of AI systems built in the history. Unreliable, hallucinating, and basically probabilistic approximation of the stolen data from web. It will not take your website permissions, CBI site permission to take, but it will give you all the CBI historical cases. But that's what it is. So all of Gen AI you're consuming is the most illegal software out there. Let me stop my conversation with that. I'm very vociferous about it because that's what it is.
Sure thing. So actually, I saw that there was one example which you gave regarding like that model is classifying certain data as like ostrich, right? This one. So you can see that like it is written 2013, like for reference which you have taken for validating this statement. Like so, given now, what is the likelihood that the upcoming models and like the currently like large language models such as like cloud AI which is there, so they would have that probability or likelihood that the classification may go wrong, kind of. Yeah.
Injection attacks on ChatGPT.
Prompt injection attacks. Okay, sir. Thank you for your time. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Srinivas, for your visionary perspective and compelling insights that remind us of our shared duty in steering AI towards inclusive and ethical growth. Thank you, sir. We now move to a vital discussion, one that lies at the intersection of technology, justice, and governance. Next is the panel discussion titled The Legal Implications of AI Regulations. We'll explore the evolving challenges and opportunities in regulating intellectual system. Our esteemed panel bring together expertise from law enforcement, judiciary, academia, and AI-driven industries. Let us welcome our moderator and our host, Dr. Mahesh CV.
Narella Malayadri Garu, District Judge, retired, practicing advocate Supreme Court. Yes. Thank you. The person who need the space of AI, call professor, we call people call intellectual, right? The person who introduced AI I'm not sure how many people know this. Professor started working on 1973 in AI. I'm saying 1973. It's a great honor and pleasure, Professor. Please, please. I'll come from that side. We'll start from that side. Well, thank you, gentlemen. The legal implication of AI regulations. That's the panel discussion for the topic today. So you know that AI is always, there are always positives and there are negatives, especially when people are worried about safety, especially in terms of data privacy. You know, a lot of things are coming, and if you look at nowadays, we are talking heavily about AI acts. European government has introduced it, European Union last year, way back, they introduced it, Act for Artificial Intelligence, which predominantly Singapore, Brazil, even they got introduced it. Now, India draft is almost ready, which we are expecting maybe by this year end. Probably whenever you get some time, interact with Dr. Srinivas Padmanabhani. He is one of the stakeholders in that committee. If you want to know more insights, please reach out in the networking break. So with that, just I want to keep some context for that. So how do you balance regulations without impacting AI innovation? So we'll start from JD sir, then Professor, then so it's a very, you know, I'm a little nervous, guys. Usually I'm not nervous, but sharing with this kind of three people, you know, three different personalities, three different dimensions. I call Trimurtis, one from, you know, administrative with IPS background, one from technology, and one from judiciary. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Mahesh. I mean, it was a wonderful lecture by sir. I mean, we learnt a lot. And also we are all learning AI now. That is what it is. And also when you come to the legal implications, right now I think in India we don't have any regulations regarding the AI. I mean, not in the form of an act.
2023 Act.
Yeah, 23 it is there, but there are two issues which I want to. One is India does not yet have any standalone AI law so far. That is my understanding. In the year 1918, Niti Aayog has come up with what is known as National Strategy on AI.
Yes.
And a subcommittee has been formed also in the Ministry of Information Technology, and also to evolve about how we should go about. But at least, as Mr. Malayatri has mentioned, we have Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023.
Yeah,
that is there. It regulates the digital personal data processing, data fiduciary obligations, consent, breach penalties, and data protection board. And of course, 2007 Puttaswamy Gowda judgment is there.
Yes.
It is a 9-bench judgment by the Supreme Court. It talked extensively about the privacy of the information. It talked privacy is part of Article 21, that is right to life. Because living right to life is one thing and living with dignity is another thing. That's what Supreme Court has made a clear distinction. It says living means not just mere living, it should be living with a lot of dignity, which includes the privacy. So that's where a lot of issues are coming up regarding the Aadhaar disclosure. That is one thing. Because as he was mentioning about Aadhaar, the data of Aadhaar. That's why I tell many people, never give your Aadhaar when you check in a hotel. Never give your Aadhaar card when you check in a hotel. I always give my voter identity card when I check into a hotel. Because what happens is, the moment you present your identity, they take a Xerox copy and they give it back to you. So the Xerox copy is maintained by the hotel. And you check in and finally you check out, but still the data is with the hotel people. So there are people who are ready to buy that data. So they collect all your Aadhaar cards, and your Aadhaar card is in the market now. Now what I do, if I am a scammer, what I do is, I purchase a SIM card based on your Aadhaar card. So my SIM card is on your Aadhaar, and I do all sorts of things, and finally I get caught. But when they verify the SIM card, finally your Aadhaar details are going to come and you are going to get into the process. So as he was mentioning, ultimately artificial intelligence is the data which is provided by you, and it collates and finally it gives out, because it cannot create its own data. Data is being provided by us. So what type of data you are providing, that is going to be very, very important. So if you want to have privacy, you also need to protect your privacy also. So if you want to know how many of SIM cards in the country are there on your Aadhaar card, you can go to Sanchar.net and you can find out. Go to the Sanchar.net website and there is a provision that is available. What you do is, you put your Aadhaar number there, then it gives you how many SIM cards in the country are there based on your Aadhaar. So that is where we ourselves are surrendering our privacy to the market. So you need to be extremely careful, and also which data you are going to share, that is also extremely important. Most of the people, we don't put any virus protection device in our computers also, because we say it is quite expensive. So I always, even in my cell phone or even in my PC or even in my laptop, I always have an antivirus software. I always keep it. I don't know how far this antivirus can be believed, whether it is going to take the data from this thing, but on the face of it, I believe it and I load it. So be extremely careful when you share your personal data. And we keep on uploading our photos and everything onto the Facebook. I tell you one thing that has happened in Mumbai. One person, every 2 minutes he uploads something onto his Facebook account. Once he said, we are all going to New Zealand for a 1-week trip. So he, along with his family details, he has posted. After reaching the airport, he has posted again a picture. After getting into the flight, he posted. After landing there, he posted. So a fellow is following his Facebook account. So he was very confident that this man is out of Mumbai for 1 week. He comfortably broke into his house.
Dropped.
He was there in his house for 1 week. He cooked there and he enjoyed everything. And again that man, when he started from New Zealand, he said, yes, again we have got into the flight, again Facebook. So this man packed everything in the house and he left. So this is what is your information, what you are sharing. Be careful. There are so many people who are trying to sneak into your data. And also especially believing on the artificial intelligence. I will talk you 2 minutes I will tell you something on cyber murder. I don't know how many of you have heard about it. Because nowadays most of the things are computerized. Most of the things are digitized. If you go to US, the doctor dictates the prescription. So the prescription gets into the digital form and it gets to the pharmacist. So when you go to the pharmacist, he is going to give you all these medicines which he has prescribed. One cyber criminal, he entered into the system. The doctor did not prescribe insulin to this patient, but he put insulin into the prescription. So the thing was dispensed by the dispenser and finally he got an insulin shot. So finally he succumbed. Again the cyber intruder, he entered into the system and removed this insulin from the prescription. So, this is what is going to happen in the days to come. So too much of reliance on data, too much of reliance on machines is going to be dangerous. We need to use our own common sense. So what is most important thing for all of us is we are moving away from common sense.
Yes.
So let us all work with common sense and we can avoid so many things. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing your valuable, impactable insights, sir. Just I want to add, when you said we are the people, especially Indians, who are giving data to AI. If you look at a global level, large scale, specifically if you look at Microsoft 10-15 years back, the traditional business was a different, where the Windows, Microsoft, Outlook 365, all that. Now if you look at it, it's completely AI services organization. You can take Amazon, right? So all of a sudden they will say one campaign, they will say, you need to share in Facebook example. They will say, 10 years back, before and after. Our guys are ready, they'll start the race, and again we will upload all our photos. Now the trend is Ghibli. So basically we are feeding the data to AI. But we don't know certainly what data to be shared. Right? Probably when we get the guidelines in terms of the regulations, we should have some very specific. It's all about, as you said, it's a common sense. As such, there is no playbook to define what is do's, what is don'ts.
So, because most of the time we all will be waiting for the government to give you an act or issue a government regulation, even though you know.
Yeah.
Because when I was working in Pune, I went to a society, housing society. All of them were mentioning, sir, so many accidents are taking place. We all know that it is better to wear helmet when you drive a two-wheeler, but we are waiting for the government to issue a circular saying that when you go out of your house, wear helmet. This is where we are lacking. We always wait the government to give you some regulations or some thing, even though you know that. So that is the typical mentality what you have. So that's why I said use common sense.
But unfortunately, we have a lot of free courses to educate more about, in terms of the regulation or more specific to the responsible AI. Whether you take Amazon, whether you take Microsoft, they have huge, very segmented courses. But we never spend, because once you start, it has to be at least 10, 15, 20 hours. People don't spend that much time because a lot of people are coming from either students or professors from the great WhatsApp university, what we call. So they need everything instant, WhatsApp. Right?
So now the span of attention is only 29 seconds. That's why all your reels, if you see, they are 29 seconds. Very soon that is going to be 13 seconds. Because you don't see a reel which is longer than 29 seconds. You do this. So that's why people have gathered the information, so they are tailoring this into 29 seconds. So the span of attention is very, very important if you want to catch the market and also catch the attention of the people, because attention economy is one of the important things that is there in the market.
Sure. Yes, sir, thank you. So without any further delay, we'll move to the same question to our professor. So how do you balance regulations without impacting AI innovation, Professor? Probably if you can add some little context from a design thinking, so that if you our participants are not familiar with the design thinking, maybe a little quick introduction to the design thinking, then let's jump into the question. No, please.
I started working. I started working.
Yes, sir.
1973 onwards, when I was in Giddy College of Engineering, we built a robot, electronic robot, making use of vacuum tubes. Okay, that time itself I wrote an article stating that the machines, what you're going to make, one day or other they're going to rule us. They're making it more and more intelligent. So this is what I said. Then later on, 84, when I was there in IIT Kanpur, then I said, machine can think. Okay, machines can think. It doesn't have brain, but machines do think. If you go through quantum mechanics, because I have done extensive research in quantum mechanics as a physicist, every particle thinks. This we know. You might have gone through this Heisenberg's uncertainty principle and whatnot and whatnot. Every atom thinks. Machines definitely think. You may not understand now. Now people have understood what I said in 1973. This statement, probably after 20, 30 years, people will understand that machines do think. The robots. With this background, the American government, the police department, FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, they asked me to develop a software package for them, and I did it in 2015. Am I right? She is my PhD student. She completed she's a professor. She did some work in that, and video processing she did some work. Geetham University professor. They made it with the help of my PhD students and all, First of all, the opposition came from the liberals. They didn't want this thing to be, implemented. But whatever you people say, why do we require him? A judge, a law enforcing mechanism we need. Because people, the criminal thinking we have, they are born with, criminality index. You don't blame me, don't find fault with me, it's a fact. Okay. When I was addressing the councillors and, consuls and the parliamentarians of Canadian government in University of Toronto, I made the first statement, all human beings are criminals. Everybody was shocked. What is he talking, old man? Okay. I mean, so I'm a criminal. I told him, he's a law enforcing person, commissioner of police. You touch your conscience and tell me, have you ever, throughout your life till date, have you not done any crime? He kept quiet. So they are criminals basically. Because of the crimes you have committed, you have taken birth. There are 5 positive qualities. Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa. There are 5 negative qualities. Kama, Krodha, Moha, Mata, Matsarya. P to N, PNR, the ratio. If you evaluate, if the PNR, positive qualities to negative quality, the ratio, if it is equal to 1, you are a normal human being. If PNR is less than 1, you are slowly turning out to be a criminal. If PNR tends to infinity, you are Asura, Rakshas. When PNR is greater than 1, you are a good man, extraordinary man. When PNR turns to infinity, you are a Devata. That's it. Okay, this is how the criminality index has been this thing. Using this only, we designed the software, crime prediction support system. It's an artificial intelligence based crime prediction support system. Not my words, support system. It gives a supporting strength to law enforcement officials, security, judiciary, whatever. The New York commissioner and the justice of that, when they wrote a letter to me, he said, this is from Mandal. Then I said, this is the way in which we have done. You want the mathematics, the logic behind it, I can give you, no problem. I don't want any money. Use it properly. With such a wonderful software, they were able to convert lot of crime zones into crime-free zones. That is the fundamental activity or expectation, you can have for the judiciary as well as the law enforcement agency. So, what I want to say is, balancing. How do you balance? We have to balance ourselves. The Asura is in us. The Devata is in us. You balance yourself. Then you balance the society. That's what I want to tell you.
Thank you, Professor. It is something like, you took back to those days and mixing with the latest technology. And it was seriously a great insights. So we'll move to the, sir, let me repeat one more time the question. How do you balance regulations without impacting AI innovation?
A pleasant evening to all of you. Sir said don't give to your Aadhaar card to anybody, but I give my Aadhaar card to all.
Yes, you're alive, sir.
How? Why I am giving? Tell me. I know one rule in that Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited. A fellow with Aadhaar card cannot have more than 10 SIMs. So I purchased all 10 SIMs by myself. And sir said that be careful with virus. The virus may attack and steal the your data. So what I did, I put 2-3 viruses. So that one virus if fails, other virus may protect me. So we have to be careful. Anyhow, relevant to the point, being a retired judge and an advocate, I must be relevant. I will directly go to the point. He asked about regulations. When regulations, when you speak, 2 things will come into our mind. One is economy and then another is social potential. So at international level, this landscape of AI is evolving rapidly. So leading economies are focusing on regulating AI risks. How they are regulating? They are keeping two things in view: economy and social potential. Presently, we are having EU means European Union AI Act. It recognizes, categorizes AI systems based on risk: unacceptable, high, limited, minimal. So it's seeing whether minimum risk is there or not. Then it is allowing. Even that minimal risk we have to avoid in India because our culture is different. We'll talk about Indian level, what is how to regulate it. Innovation should be low risk areas while strictly monitoring high risk applications. Suppose facial recognition, biometric surveillance. These 2 things, they are regulating it. Then in UK, Singapore and Canada, experimental regulatory environments where innovators can test AI solution under guided oversight. This they are doing. But in India it's not like that. We are all using, as the professor said, the ChatGPT. What is the name of sir?
Srinivas.
No testing is done about ChatGPT in India, but we are using it. Paid even. We are paying and using it, but no test is done. Then the global consensus is clear now after Japan's agreeing it. Encourage responsible innovation, safeguard human rights and prevent misuse. The misuse should be for example, misinformation and AI weaponization. This is at international level. At India, what we are having challenges. You youngsters, you have to face and stop this damage to us. Strategies in India is, we have to keep in our mind that we are having 1.4 billion people who are waiting for, rather not waiting, using the AI. So keep that in view. Then Niti Aayog's framework is there. India's AI mission is focusing on a robust AI innovation ecosystem through public-private R&D partnerships. So if you invent something, you can now approach, one ministry is there which is without minister. That ministry is directly dealing with it. If you invent something and go there, all licenses will be given. Then startup incubation, data accessibility via India's digital public enterprises, infrastructure, avoiding over-regulation. This is also very important. If you keep so many regulations and ultimately we can't drive the scooter. So we should avoid over-regulations. Then AI in healthcare and education can have tailored ethical guidelines instead of one-size-fits-all legal mandates. So India must be a creator of AI frameworks, not just a positive adapter. This is important. When I spoke to the sir, the dean here, he was telling to me in 1966 itself in this university that AI section is there. 1966, am I correct? So this is very important. You are lucky that in this university that one wing is there in 1966 itself. So not just a positive adapter. When you use the ChatGPT, I know that it's a coming fox. So what I do is, I will make first one ChatGPT notes and then ask another 3 or 4 ChatGPT, one contradicted to each other. Then I will put on my table all the things. Then I myself will give dictation basing on these things. So you must be you should not be a positive adapter, but you must encourage innovation at the grassroots level while building ethical guardrails. This is very important. Keep in your mind that you are dealing with 1.4 billion people. So that is one thing. Then in the impact on India's foreign relations and global standing, that is very important. You are inventing something, putting some regulations, but in other countries it is not there. Now one guy from America says that your country is bad, so much traffic, so many things. But when I look into that in some state, North Korean state of USA, when I compare the criminality and crimes and all that, they are doing more crimes. They are doing bigger crimes, but they blame us. So we must keep in our mind the impact on India's foreign relations and global standing. So strategic AI partnerships we must have. Then India-US initiative on critical and emerging technologies. So many other countries. There are a lot of risks also. So what we need to have is a foreign policy. Sir, we must have a foreign policy while dealing with regulations. Otherwise, we will not be able to compete with the foreign countries. So establish a AI as a strategic pillar, treat AI like a nuclear, space or cyber, and we can appoint an AI ambassador. I am giving one advice. And ethical and open AI chala very important andi. So I am advocate for ethical AI frameworks at the UN, BRICS and Commonwealth forums. India is. Then protect digital sovereignty and keep in your mind, focus on cultural and language AI diplomacy. So finally what I say is, the balance of AI regulation with innovation, India must pursue a smart governance strategy firm on ethical standards. This should be in our mind. I say always what Vivekananda said, pure knowledge and pure love are one and the same thing. The path of love is much easier than the path of knowledge. So follow the path of love while making regulations and see that we have courage to do it. By making AI a key component of foreign policy, India can become a global voice for inclusive, democratic and ethical AI and a trusted partners in shaping the digital future of the world. So keep these two aspects in our mind. As youngsters, I hope that while making like in this 2023 Act is not now fully armed with. So 2025 Act is coming and one more Act is coming. For AI they are creating one Act, making one Act. But the 2025 Digital Act, as Sir said, by the end of this year it comes. But when I checked with AI, it says that no, in India it will not come by the end of 2025, it will come in 2026. So AI is forecasting that Regulatory Act will come in 2026. So that's why I request all of you, make it and possible to see that you all can invent and regulate and see that by 2025 December our act will come. The making AI as incorrect. Thank you.
Thank you, Navila sir. Thanks for valuable insights. Yes, sir.
Because Malayadigara has talked about verifying from 3 sources. Because he said whatever he gets from the chat GPT, he puts into some other, maybe Grok or maybe Pilot or maybe other these things. So because this has a reference to police also. Because we receive a lot of information. Information becomes intelligence if it is confirmed by 3 sources. Till the time it remains as an information only. So for you also, if you get from one source, don't believe on that. See that it comes from 3-4 channels, so that then only you believe, because especially the youth, you are there because you are emotionally very active. So a small thing appearing on your, maybe on your WhatsApp or maybe on your social media, you immediately get into action. Because most of the thing that is coming on these channels are all fabricated. There are all people with a lot of intentions. They want to create some disturbance. They try to send such type. So don't believe unless you get verified from 3-4 different sources. That's what I thought. So don't believe on information. See that it is actually a real intelligence for you when it gets confirmed from 3-4 different independent sources.
Thank you, sir.
Very good idea,
sir. Sir, I need to stop. I need to stop you, sir. So we're running out of time. So we have one more question. So let's take, I request all the panel members, so stick to the 2 minutes. The question is very clear. So the second question is, in the case of mistake, any mistake, who is liable? Is it a human or a legal entity? We'll start from this side.
Right answer is that AI has no legal entity now. So when there is no legal entity, generally it falls on human or a legal entity. So when AI is not neither a human nor a legal entity, we can't punish AI, but it damages us. So what we need to is a legal entity must be created, either a company or institution. So who is, hello? So liability of damages generally human or legal entity. So who are the legal entities? One is creator, second is who deployed it, third is who controlled the AI system, and then because AI has no legal entity, we should see that intruders, hackers, whosoever they come into the way, all those persons must be held liable for this. So as of now, AI systems are tools, not actors. They can't be sued or prosecuted, cannot own property or contracts. So you can't purchase in the name of AI something. You can't sell in the name of AI also. So you can't punish AI. So human entity or legal entity or human only can be punished. So therefore humans or companies are held liable. So generally speaking, a developer, manufacturer owner or operator or user, employer, data provider. In special cases, some autonomous vehicles are being manufactured. So, self-driving cars, as sir said, multiple layers of liability may arise. I came across a friend of mine who went in that car. He is an advocate. He tells to me that he goes to the court and keeps the car outside that self-driving car. It comes by 10:15 exactly, and then he goes to court. That car goes on its own till 4:30 and goes for rent and collects the amount and comes back to the court and gives the money. So car is that self-driven car, driverless car is economy. Likewise, one advocate first time in US, autonomous vehicle or some mission he has invented. Rather he purchased, and that has argued the case in the court. The advocate simply sat. So it has argued and he won the case. So, and one more thing, in India, one hospital has come. I read about it. I am not sure of it, but I read about it. Whether it's correct or not, I don't know. That hospital, right from attender to up to doctor, only AI machines work. So, am I correct, sir? Am I correct? So, that hospital 6 times or 8 times giving income than when the human beings are working. So you will opt for that type of hospitals for construction.
Sorry,
so another thing is, in medical field, what is happening? Referral case. My daughter is a doctor, general surgeon. So she was telling to me, referral, whosoever doctor referred the case, he will be given some amount. I am a senior advocate. If a junior brings a case, I will give some amount. Here, there is no AI referral AI agent. Am I correct? So, less cost. So, that is one thing. And many more things are there, but as the sir said, I am closing it. So, what we need is definitely when we are going to sue or to be sued, present laws are as it is. Torts Act, damages, only compensation. These acts are in force. Don't think that if AI does some damage, you will get some compensation, because AI has no legal entity. So that's why the person who employs it, suppose you have purchased 1999 ChatGPT, you purchased it, you are using it, you can't sue him. You can't, because he is collecting the money, but he is providing only untested ChatGPT. Google prakaram pote gunta paddadanta. So what I request you is verify, and finally verify with a human being, not with AI. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Professor, in the case of mistake, who is liable? Is it human or a legal entity?
People are here, most of the students. Nowadays, I have evaluated around, I myself produced 105 PhDs. Okay, evaluated more than 50 PhDs from IITs, NITs and universities. But today, I am confused, because the PhD thesis turned to be extremely good, compared to previous, because they are original. Today, ChatGPT generated PhD thesis. Okay. Papers, people write, students, they write, I want this paper, ChatGPT, give me a paper, it gives, and it published. IEEE, I'm a reviewer in IEEE. I know how many people, so who is at fault now? ChatGPT or the students? I leave it to you. Don't hang your head like that, because I know. For God's sake, don't do that. You may get a PhD, but you will not get selected when you come for the interview where I'm the chairman. I can, DRDO, I have selected so many people. Then some other people, they were all chairman of the DRDO itself. So, you have to be innovative. People don't know how to write a letter, leave letter. ChatGPT, leave letter.
2 pages.
So who is at fault? A knife is given to you. It can be made use of a surgery or cutting vegetables or stabbing somebody. Who is at fault? So all these AI, right from for the past 55 years I am saying this, they are good. They are supporting systems. Okay. So use it as a supporting system. Do not completely depend on that. It's not good. Your creativity will be killed. You will become a dummy piece.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. Say.
Question again?
Yes, sir.
Can you just repeat it again? Yeah.
In the case of mistake, who is responsible? Who is liable? In the case of mistake of AI,
I know. Yes.
who is liable? Is it a human or a legal entity?
If you take any legal crime or a legal issue, there are two things which are required to make you liable. One is called mens rea, the other one is called actus reus. Mens rea is your intention and actus reus is the action you have committed. These two things constitute a crime. So even if you use AI, the basic thing that is going to be tested in the court is what intention you had. Because this AI tool becomes a medium. Suppose, say for example, on an Instagram, you put a defamatory thing about somebody. So you are not going to charge the Instagram people, because it is you who have created a defamatory message and you have used Instagram as a medium to communicate it. So ultimately the liability is going to be on you because you had an intention of defaming somebody and you have actually acted on that. So what I feel is that AI tools or your social media tools, they are going to be used and you can't charge them. You can't charge them. But there is a possibility that the artificial intelligence itself may generate some of the defamatory things. Today morning I was going through some in this thing. Because very, very derogatory things are being told by few girls coming onto the stage and they are talking about something, very, very derogatory. But ultimately what came out is they are all ChatGPT or the artificial intelligence generated, they are not real. So then what are you going to do? That is one thing comes. Because we don't know who has done it, but ultimately it is creating so much of impact on the society. So who is going to become a complainant in that case, and who is going to be a person who is responsible for it, how the courts are going to deal with it, that's a big subject which needs to be done. That is one area which still remains as a grey area. Then in that case we need to go to the tool that has been used or the people who are behind it. That is also very good, because artificial intelligence on its own cannot create. Somebody must be using this. So it becomes a part of investigation, and taking the investigation across the borders is also very difficult, because somebody can sit in US and they can generate this and the impact might be in India. But finally I have to track the person in America who has done it. For that the procedure is very, very long. We have to use the extradition treaties, and you have to use the legal treaties what we have between the two countries. The investigation becomes very, very lengthy and cumbersome also, and most of the time you can't reach the other side also. So there are a lot of constraints because of this technology also. A lot of things, things are becoming very, very difficult for the investigating agencies also. So that is my take on that.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
One adding to sir. Sir, being a police officer background, he said about mens rea and other things. Criminal offences, civil is different. It's not only mere mens rea. Suppose you are negligent, In criminal side, you will see mens rea and other things. If you are negligent and did something, while assessing damages, our criteria is different. So we have to be very careful in that. Second is, don't have much fear. Sir said that one lady and all that, that is AI created and that. Now missions have come. In Delhi, in some courts, they have installed one mission. Suppose if you put Xerox copy, it will say it's not original. The mission will say. If you put altered copy, it will say altered copy. So now paperless courts system is going to come in India. In one or two courts, Pune and somewhere in Karnataka. Yeah, some paperless courts have come. So no paper is being used. Now the question is about security of the judgments and documents and other things. If I prepare one judgment, by the time I go to sign, it will change. Previously it is through the human intervention. Now it is through the mission's intervention. So what I am saying is, checks and balances law, now missions have come. Some missions are there to tell about, suppose your signature is forged, age of the signature. Previously it was not there. Now in defense side, some missions have come. It will tell on what date you have signed, what is the age of it, what is the color, whether it is a manufacturer or altered or whatever it is. So don't worry much about these things. You invent, but with human brain regulate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for joining the panel discussion. So we are almost 20 minutes delay running right now. So immediately we'll proceed for a break after 20 minutes. When we come back, we have other panel discussion. Is AI a friend or a foe of healthcare? And we have a fire chart with, sorry. There is one more session. Sorry, sir. AI for humanity, bridging the gaps or building the divides by JD Garu. Then we have a followed by panel discussion. Then we have a fire chart with Narela Garu. Then we'll make sure that by 7 we'll be closing on dot. Thank you. Thank you, sir. It was a great pleasure. Sir, thank you. Sir, thank you. It was a great pleasure. Thank you. Will I take one photo, sir? Yeah, sure. Yeah.
close divides or deepening them. Please join me, sir, and please join with me in
becomes a burden on this doctor himself. Finally, it starts blackmailing him. And finally, the character kills the brother of this doctor also, but he doesn't know what to do with this character, finally, Frankenstein. If we come back to our own things, it is called Bhasmasura. There is a character called Bhasmasura. So the Lord Shiva gave him getting killed. Second one is about Ashwatthama using this astra without knowing how to withdraw it. And finally, this character of Frankenstein. So all these three things we are creating without knowing what is ultimately it is going to do to us. So we need to be extremely careful. As sir, if you give a knife to your mother, she cuts the vegetables wonderfully well. If the same knife you give to a surgeon, he performs surgeries very well. If the same knife you give it to a criminal and your moral character. So if this artificial intelligence things falls into your wrong hands, so they will definitely use it for a wrong purpose. Ratio, sir? Yeah. So that ratio is very, very important. So artificial intelligence, machine doesn't know. I mean, it is a very good, it obeys everybody. We will have a lot of constraint in using it. But if you give it to a terrorist, he will try to open fire at the least possible provocation. So the machine is the same. Machine in 96, I think mobile phones started coming into India. MaxTouch was the first company which has brought the mobile phones. Because MaxTouch company used to be in a place called a phone with the police and also phones already in the hands of these unrolled elements. So that makes the difference. So, and also I want to listen, because suddenly lot of people learned programming and they went to US and they settled there. So always technology is definitely going to help you. A thing that is circulating, if artificial intelligence comes, so many people are going to lose the jobs. But it is not so. According to me, artificial intelligence is going to create more and more. Pick up the skills, as Srinivasji was mentioning about few skills which are required if you want to make use of this artificial intelligence. Authorities are resorting to closing down of the internet services. If you see disturbances in Kashmir, immediately you find the first decision the authorities are going to take is to switch off the internet services. So, internet services, and does this stop the internet services? When I was the superintendent of police, it used to take a lot of time for information to reach from one place to other. Those times only the landline phones were there. Things have changed. Now there is a live telecast of my speech, let us suppose. I mean, whatever I speak here, immediately it is going to reach so many people. So only my worry is that who is going to control the AI? That is one question. I thought that Einstein's theory of relativity will be used for peaceful purposes. But that means they can use it for generation of electricity. Yes, now you can use the same technology for destroying some place also. So that is where the issue has come. So this is again my worry. This is again used in future, and what restrictions we have to bring and how we have to do that. Then sir was mentioning something about the California. One of my friends is working in California. So he told me, I think Mr. Srinivas, he has given this example. So somebody using the artificial intelligence started asking so many questions. So it got so fed up, finally it threatened the person that I will inform your wife about all this. The this has happened really. My friend called me and told me. I think he was seconded, sir. Yeah, this is what happened. So that means how AI is going to take your questions and how AI is going to behave with you, that is also a big question. Because I think many years before, Mr. Shankar has brought out this film called Robo. Take about 100 more years, that's what is his statement, but I am not sure. It will not. That was his statement, I read it in the newspaper. But let us hope that will happen. So, California, this thing has happened, and it can threaten that I will send all your call list to your wife with whom you are talking. So that is the threat given by this. So actually when calculators came, we stopped memorizing the mathematics tables. Otherwise, as a child, I used to start with second table. But now you have forgotten the tables after this calculator has come. But according to me, mathematical tables were not only for calculations but also for your memory. But we stopped after the calculator coming. Recently, I don't know how many of you have read it, the Hollywood has gone on a strike. One whole movie, the music director, hero, heroine, all the characters, they have made it through artificial intelligence. Now Hollywood has gone on strike. What is going to be done? The realistic, futuristic and humanistic view. That's what in your presentation also you mentioned, sir. You need to have a realistic view. You need to have a futuristic view. Now and then we hear about shooting with weapons in schools by school students. Whenever I read this news in the newspaper that some student in a American, he has gone to the school with a weapon and he killed his friends. How sad it is. On one side, technologically they are going to such an extent, on the other side to the other extreme. So whole technology, if you consider, technology is a double-edged weapon. That's why if you see Stephen Hawking, he said, a powerful AI will be either best or the worst thing ever to happen to humanity. So you have to be extremely careful. So don't always think that I got AI, because there is a... So Amitabh Bachchan asked him, मेरे पास धन है, मेरे पास दौलत है, मेरे पास बंगला है, मेरे पास कार है, मेरे पास बिल्डिंग है, आपके पास क्या है? What I mentioned in the Mahabharata. Ashwadhama knew only how to apply the astra, but he never knew how to call it just astra, but he never knew how to call it back. So these two things have to go together, prayoga and upasam. These two things have to go together, prayoga and upasam. Impact of this technology and also of the artificial intelligence on the people. So now this thing is that like this, it is artificial, but India needs to make an effort to make it artificial, but India needs to make an effort to make it natural intelligence. Not much depending on the artificial intelligence, not much depending on the artificial intelligence, with our willingness to a different world of suffering. So that also we need to understand. If you know Ksheerasagara Madhanam, where a lot of things came out when the Ksheerasagara Madhanam was done. Kamadev, they become when the Ksheerasagara Madhanam was done. Kamadev, they become eternal, and the damage they are going to create, you can't imagine. That's why even during that time also enough care has been taken to us, which would be only given to us, which would be only given to the good people. So similarly here also in the artificial intelligence, good people. So similarly here also in the artificial intelligence also, this artificial intelligence should go to the hands of good people. Flavors are not good. Artificial sugar is not good. Artificial sugar is not good. Artificial colorants are not good. Using these colorants are not good. Using these colorants, they keep on using your taste enhancers, and they are causing and they are causing lot of damage to our health. Similarly, anything artificial yoga, we are getting into so many other things like our self-realization. So I feel India can lead the world ethical, because when people are ethical, the tools they are going to generate are going to be ethical. So I think this particular conference is definitely going to ensure that India will definitely, because we may say that anyway artificial intelligence, suppose if you avoid artificial intelligence, all these problems are not going to be there. That is not the solution. Because any new technology that is cannot the solution. Because any new technology that is coming, you can't how to use it effectively, ethically and responsibly. Second thing is, somebody should be there to take care of it. That's why we mentioned about what are the regulations that are going to come to make the artificial intelligence. If you see, the Supreme Court recently has said, no doubt Article 19 is there. It gives you lot of freedom of speech, but at the same time that should not affect the privacy of some. It is not competition of technology, it is the competition among the persons holding this technology. Existence of human race is very watching, and they are afraid what is going to happen. Because either of them can take a option. If you see, there are a lot of mavericks who have come and they are ruling the nations. I don't know what decision they are going to take which is going to affect the humanity. I mean, people standing for food killed. If you see in Gaza, about 58,000 people have been killed. I mean, if you see the small children, young children, women, they are being killed. So the decisions taken by people are going to have impact. So my appeal to all your scientific world is, anything should not cross the limits of a human being. Always keep human being into consideration, and they should this. So always your technology should ensure that there is more peace in the world rather than making the world into pieces. So these are my 6 conclusions. Has been given to me is whether AI for humanity, bridging gaps or widening the divides. So you have to take a call, and we always should see that the artificial intelligence of AI should be taken care of. At the same time, you have to use the AI, because there are many examples in which the AI is being used. In Telangana, the girl was not understanding the teaching by her own teacher. So then she was introduced to this AI tool. So that is a wonderful thing. What is that? There is another farmer by name Lakshman in Maharashtra, because he grows turmeric, and because of pests and rain following him, and now he is very, very comfortable, and now he is doing extremely well in the farming of turmeric, because these are all the positive sides of using the AI. So like this, if you say, there is artificial intelligence tool, and within 15 seconds using that artificial intelligence tool, the boy can say the health of the heart. I mean, the doctor. In 15 seconds, you will come to know how your heart is. You need not have to go through all these cumbersome procedures of your ECG or maybe your treadmill test. intelligence tool is going to decide. And also detection of cancers also has become very fast by making use of the artificial intelligence tool. So like this you have, but at the same time, as because the artificial intelligence tools, they are developed for the Western society. The moment you use your retina or your screening, the moment your skin color changes, it always detects depending only on the data which is collected from the Western world. So you have the positive side and you have the negative side also. So as researcher, as individuals, our responsibility together and for not dividing the society. I give a small example. There is a school in which a teacher makes the India map into 29 pieces, and these 29 pieces are given to 2 students to assemble it, like we give it to the children, the puzzle exercise what you do. So one student, he assembles these 29 pieces in 10 minutes. The other boy takes about 2 hours. Then the teacher asks the boy, says, ma'am, behind this poster of the country, there were 2 individuals. What I did is, I brought these 2 individuals together, and when I turned this map, I found India united. So, you have to bring people together. Bring people. So, we take a resolution that we are definitely going to use these artificial intelligence tools to unite people, but not for dividing them. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for the deeply reflective and powerful address. Your words remind us that technology must walk hand in hand with empathy and equity. Our next panelizing medical practices. Please join me in welcoming our panel of healthcare professionals and AI experts to the stage. Firstly, I would like to invite our host, Medical Council member. We welcome you, sir. Thirdly, I invite Dr. A.V. Subha Reddy, President, AP Private Hospitals and Nursing Homes Association. Also, Dr. Dwarakanath Reddy, State President, IMA Telangana. Sir was supposed to join us, but due to some personal reasons.
Today in the world of hospitals, there is a talk about surgery being done by robots. Then there is by asking Dr. Madan, what are the different possible areas where he sees AI use?
And it cannot replace the doctors. And more accurately diagnose. We want to more accurately, like in image diagnosis, like CT, MRI, is needed, like in cancer, sepsis, and moreover, like heart attack. We can predict very early. Lot of data is there, no? So it is very useful to analyze ourselves, and very useful to diagnose a very rare diagnosis also. And one more thing, I am a pediatrician. If I give a vaccination schedule, they will human forgot. If I use the AI tools, they will remind you what is the schedule of doctors. The patient and doctor. And one more thing, AI is a tool which increases accuracy and efficacy of our bugs like viruses more powerful than your viruses. You know all the COVID, huh? Yes. Every time they have. So the way data is belong to the Western countries. I will give a best example. If you take one picture from mobile and ask from any AI, it will show the data of Western countries, or melanoma, or something rare diagnosis in India, but it is a simple mole. That is the thing. So AI has both. Listening to all the sessions, I have to say one thing. If you use missions, you stop thinking. You, as Sir Lakshmi Sir told, first concentrate on your gurus, your books, then utilize AI. Then will be better. Everything. Early morning, I have a headache. What is Google? Please tell me the diagnosis. Correct. Everyone is using the chat GPT. Migraine, so many things. First thing is take a good sleep and plenty of water. So don't rely on everything on AI. Legal, it has no legal entity in medicine field. Sir told. And we doctors, we have a good empathy on patients, every person, humanity, and touch. Then finally we give the diagnosis. We are responsible for that one. But AI did not take any responsibility. Thank you.
Kind of better way. You think they should replace doctor or use AI to help doctor? What is your thought?
Definitely, good evening to everybody. I am very happy to be here. It will help, and it will help in fast diagnosis, and it will help in analyzing the data. After analyzing, definitely each and every patient will behave differently in depending upon the race, religion, place, climatic conditions. So it will be useful in diagnosis, and AI will be useful in treatment also. But it cannot be replaced. It cannot replace a doctor, because it will be useful more in suppose in image. But we have to correlate with the clinical knowledge and clinical examination. Then it will be useful. Definitely AI is useful in medical field, but it cannot be replaced.
So on all these dimensions, social, ethical, what is your idea about best practices, like when people have to use AI actually in healthcare?
They asked me to take these films to one Dr. Kakarla Subbarao gar, because he was a very renowned doctor here, Tata Institute in Mumbai. So I took these films also to them. So he also said there is no problem. So then I asked many of the doctors, why did you this in their experience? So the artificial intelligence is also like that only. I mean, the more the films you give, supply, more the accurate the information is. So now how you are going to give the data is a big challenge to that. How you are going to share. Whether a patient is ready to share his your AI tool is not going to give you accurate information. So that is a big challenge which I feel that AI should feel. The second thing is about the demand. That's what she says. Because now radiology is the most sought after in the PG of any graduate. Now she says once the AI general medicine also, AI can give a lot of suggestions about the medicines different of the diagnosis also. So AI is, in my opinion, it is going to impact these two particular aspects. May sell the data clandestinely, like my Aadhaar cards from a hotel going into the hands of these hackers or to the cyber criminals. In the same way, shared with a lot of people. I keep wondering, because every day somebody calls me and says, do you want a credit card? I wonder, I keep asking them, where from you got my number? So that the details of the patient, and just give the details, maybe the films, without disclosing the identity of the patient, to make the AI tools more reliable. And that's how I look at it.
Sir, one correction, sir. So, especially told, sir, AI will not replace the doctor. And radiologist, you told him, sir, radiologist in general medicine. But they say they need a sim. Right and left and right, the diagnosis will reverse. So, AI will help doctors. To if you take a lung X-ray, we have to whole lobes. We have to check whole lobes. If we go to the CT scan, so many scans, MRI scan. So consumption. If you use AI, our time will reduce, sir. We will give a more accurate. Normal people, normal general public, reading X-ray is normal, sir. Okay, I agree. But if the X-ray is not taken by the normal, any mistakes done by the technician, there are so many faults. If you upload a wrong, that is also a false position. And changes from place to place, time to time, years to years. It's very, if you have to inform everything, age, specific age, time, area, where you have, how many days, maybe it possible, sir.
That's what I'm talking about, the privacy of the,
Yes.
I mean, how you are going to...
No, privacy is very important because if he will not accept. And we have to take a permission, they will not give. So that is the more, we have to more work on this, sir. Sir, what is...
My question was,
Yes, sir.
people are now rushing to ChatGPT.
Yes, sir.
What is your opinion?
Sir, I told you now, first thing, if you have a headache, hey, ChatGPT, I have a headache. आके सो जाओ रे, रात को सो जाओ, पानी पी लो. So it will give, if you give a good information, reliable information, that will be a good diagnosis. If you give a bad, it's depending upon the who is entering the data, he is a qualified person or not. That is the main importance. So yesterday I will share a simple example. 2 days back from Bani the diagnosis. What happened? Sir, my baby is suffering from fever since 4 days. And all blood reports are normal. But even ketone body diabetes, sir. Yes. If you, what we told, the ketone bodies plus is seen in diabetic ketoacidosis. Don't rely on these things. First you go to the doctor. I explained 4 days of fever and for the past 4 days he is not eating anything. Our body ketonuria, urine, starvation ketonuria. Just the baby cannot take any fluids or food for past 3 oral fluids or ORS or any drinks is sufficient. If you directly enter into the same details into ChatGPT, that is the first diagnosis ketone body.
That's very relevant because at least this panel I want to educate every one of you. In fact, there is now actually an anxiety among all of us in the current generation.
Some symptom is there, as he told. For headache, even brain tumor also can cause headache. If we Google it, it will come the maybe brain tumor. If they tell the symptoms, then doctor will think and the investigations will be less. But because of this, they are, sir, in Google they are searching. They are also depending upon the other clinical symptoms and clinical examination, we have to take it serious. So Google or the submissions, because he will be in fear, he will, if we tell that no need of admission also, he will tell no sir, we will admit. So unless patient is different, it depends on the investigation. We have to correlate depending upon the age, depending upon the sex, depending upon the place, depending upon the race, depending upon food. So definitely we will say that it is better to go to the doctor, and then after once the doctor gives the diagnosis or decision, then that decisions.
One is we want to have a family doctor system.
Yes.
On one side you have the machine. Because we always say family doctors knows us right from childhood. So the moment, so here you have the other extremes, there is no human being, it's only the machine that is going to decide your this thing. So we are on the two extremes. Yes, we are more in the virtual world. We are slowly moving away from the real world. We don't have many friends also nowadays. That is a big problem. If you see your Facebook, but when you come to reality, you may not be having any friend also. So that's why this virtual world, slowly you have to come to the real world. Similarly, your interactions with the society also should improve. A human relation is going to be very, very important. I think one of them is the diagnostics. Because a lot of my doctor friends also say, when patients are coming to me, they all come with, never says, I don't know. It gives some reply based on the data it has. If it has only one data of a child having diabetes, the doctor is very, very important. That is how I feel it.
I agree with sir, because everyone here has his own family doctor. We are forgetting the limitations of usage of AI for youngsters. For like we have no idea about AI. Now you are using, we are updating ourselves. You told me already they are coming with.
Because India is a nation with the largest youth population. So everybody wants to influence this section of the society. Take from politics, take networks. So they have a social media group in each political party. Maximum funds or maximum amount is being spent on these social media groups to influence you people. They come up with lot of YouTubes, lot of thumbnails to attract you. Because you see the thumbnail and you get attracted and you go to that tube. There is always verify the things with the available individuals. That's why I mentioned information becomes intelligence. Just blindly believe any video that comes in this thing. In the medical field also, you find so many videos. Somebody says take coffee. The other person says don't take coffee. I mentioned, because you are going to be the strength of this nation. The more you are informed, the more you are ethical, the more you are responsible, the nation is going to be like that. So blindly don't believe a machine. Always use lot of experience. They have seen lot of happenings in their life, because people like us who are born before you. So we have gone through so many experiences. So they can give you a right advice. So just depending on a machine, it may not give you a right opinion or right information also, or maybe a right suggestion. Use it. They always say technology needs to be used like salt. If there is more salt in your food, you don't relish it. So if there is more eating with each other, then we will be leaving a generation of idiots, he said. Because if you see a classroom or in a family also, everybody experiences, and then out of that you take a final decision. Decision making, then out of that you take a final decision. Decision making should be taken finally by you after considering so many things. Just not consulting a
Yes, sir.
Kind of take just
Yes, sir.
kind of take just one sentence max from each.
Sir, in India, we will find a clinics like a best doctor with best AI tools. And sir, Lakshman sir told one thing. If you YouTuber sir. I am started YouTube educating the people for ethical. What I have learned from our college. I am started YouTube educating the people for ethical. What I have learned from our college. 40-50 lakhs. 40-50 lakhs. What IAP said. They have so many protocols. You go through that website. What IAP said. They have so many protocols. You go through that website. Not like this. If you have pediatrics, Indian Academy of Pediatrics, go to the reliable, genuine, ethical website and give. We will be using the monitors. It will be showing heart rate, respiratory rate, saturation and the fluctuations. So AI, we have to rely on the need to have a knowledge of AI. They will survive. That's what he mentioned. So always definitely AI is going to be useful. So they have to augment their knowledge.
Any questions from audience?
Don't consent.
Any questions?
Okay, are you going to take a pledge that you're not going to bother your family doctor with ChatGPT?
So how do you handle this? Especially very often, like mother is my own brother. Very often I a small kid, a baby, a patient.
Than your bugs. Because if you new virus come, you will update me. You will update software. First, I think you started from big data, SAP, now internet. Then what they are coming. If you put a headache, what they are coming, what they will come, what they will ask questions. We are updating ourselves because of we are asking more questions. In olden days, doctor is like a stone doctor. He'll cough, cold, fever. Okay. Let's go. Now the trend has changed because of the techie people. You are asking so many questions that we are updating ourselves to give a correct information. We have so many internet informations. We have I told you now, we are following your only guidance which is a very good. But jalebi, we are eating in outside. It's a trans fat. Oil using. It's became a trans fat. Trans from don't display what the things like gulab jamun, pakoda. What are the contents of the what available in your canteen. So the
curriculum that's currently there in the medicine system, do you think medicine students should also learn AI? Because at the end of the day, you're saying that they should start using AI for their stuff. So at least basic AI.
Should use that AI, and everybody should know the limitations of AI, and first they should have the knowledge, and they should, our history taking and our clinical examination, depending upon the history, depending upon the clinical examination, depending upon the symptoms, and depending upon, but AI is definitely all the students also they have to use, but they should not depend on the AI.
I will explain. In first year we have anatomy. Reading is a good picture in your brain. And mechanisms, how lung acts, how the respiration, how the blood circulation, everything. AI is a medical students. No doubt it is the best tool for the learning for medical students.
But even then, you should have practical experience. Because if we are doing the dissection, we are doing the surgery, so many things will be there. So we should not depend only on.
And consider Indian Medical Association how to make these AI tools more reliable, how to get more and more data. So like that you can suggest to the
which is a special segment, a file chat with retired Justice Narela Maladri of Supreme Court. This intimate and candid conversation will explore the ethical foundations.
After you learnt a lot from all the different dignitaries, we are forgetting to learn from nature. Anandanni andaru anubhavistaam. But finally, what all we learnt is that, and what is AI is known to all of you, and then whatever questions you are having, you can ask. మన మహనీయులు ప్రాణాలు సైతం త్యాగం చేశారు, మనకి స్వాతంత్రం అందించారు అందరికీ. ఓకే, సో ఐ విల్ కంటిన్యూ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్, బట్ మై ఇంగ్లీష్ ఈజ్ నాట్ దట్ గుడ్ ఇంగ్లీష్. We know that there are, why? The framers of the constitution were never had any second thought of Indians ruling the other Indians. So, while framing constitution, that is, those things are what they were not having before India got freedom. What they were not having, what the people of the country at that time were not having. But now after white people left and black people are doing lot of injustice, including deities, temples, lands also being taken. They say that though we have written in the Constitution that we the people of India are having resolved to constitute India into a sovereign socialist democratic republic, so much so, and the weapon should not go into their hands, as my brother has told. So that's why now public consultation is going to have. We are going to have a small check. Indian Penal Code and Defamatory Act of compensation. Certain things are only ruling regarding damages. There are no specific fine-tuned laws due to AI failures. So I have also gone through, I will just read two aspects, and what is the present plan of India. Algorithmic harms more directly. What is this Digital India Act? It is a proposed comprehensive legislation being developed by the Government of India to replace the current status it is in public consultation stage, but we don't know what they are doing. So the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023 is already in force. This new law will be a complement to it. Regulation, particularly this deepfake regulation, it is explicit provisions are being considered to ban or license the creation of AI-generated fake content. So that is one proposal they are making. But overall, this is a landmark legislative designed to equip India with future ready. I will make it. So AI wants that it gives us the suggestions how the law should be to the hands of this thing. I was speaking previously and I told one ambassador must be there. He will have to control everything and see that. No, I have been using ChatGPT. Please, you can have. In the beginning itself, I said it's a cunning fox. It's not trained. It's not already tested. It jumps in just like using the bomb. So sometimes now I have not purchased it, but free one I am using. Free one is enough for me, but sometimes it gives me sometimes it's giving to me that answers. Yeah. Any questions from anybody? Please. No problem. You come on. I will take a half minute for you. Yeah.
Like you said, there is a proposal for banning deepfake as a whole, right? So now different types of deepfakes are coming in when it's not recognizable at all. Like the deepfake ones are updating as the second faster. So what are standards that, I know you're on the law side, but what do you feel like are standards that will be set in place?
So we have to be very careful while understanding. Understanding the innovation, whether that innovation will be useful.
What category of laws will help regulate AI?
Already I said that. Already.
More specifically, like will there be specific categories for dealing with land, AI abuse or cyber attacks?
Yeah, all that IT Act is already there. 2023 Act is there. The coming Act. No spending of good time now. సమయాన్ని సద్వినియోగం చేసుకుని విశిష్టమైన మేక్ యూ క్లియర్. I will ask a question. Whether a person who is not having law degree, can he be appointed as a Supreme Court judge? Anybody? Court of equity, property related. Anybody? Court of equity, property related case England. Court of justice, non-property issues will go. So, he will be appointed.
What basis they will apply?
In the opinion of the a jurist can be a person who is not having patience to enter into legal field. Thank you very much. Legal field. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. మహేష్ గారు మీరు ఇట్రండి పైకి రండి. మహేష్ గారు మీరు పైకి రండి. మీరు వచ్చి మహేష్ గారు మీరు పైకి రండి. మీరు వచ్చి మీరు పైకి రండి. మీరు వచ్చి
Please give a round of applause, guys. Come on. Please give a round of applause, guys. Come on. Please give a round of applause, guys. Come on. Next, I would like to invite Professor Dr. E.J. Rajan to come to the Next, I would like to invite Professor Dr. E.J. Rajan to come to the stage and invite Professor Dr. E.J. Rajan to come to the stage and receive. draw the curtains on this insightful and inspiring day, it brings me an immense joy to say that it has not been an event, but a convergence of minds with AI. Thank you once again, and we look forward to welcoming you to many more such purposeful events. This is Kanupriya signing off from the event. Thank you once again, everyone.
Going to attend that.